Imagine a poor orphan without any influential contacts, setting out on a mission to create the world's most famous watch brand. The story of Rolex is like an enthralling tapestry, woven with mysterious beginnings and closely guarded secrets. Today we delve into the fascinating journey from poverty to wealth, delving into incredible saga of Rolex and uncovering the captivating mystery behind the sky-high prices of these cherished timepieces. Part 1. The Orphan's Risk, the birth of Rolex. Hans Wilsdorf, the founder of Rolex, came from a difficult past. Born in 1881, his happy childhood was cut short when his parents died when he was 12. He became an orphan and had to live with his uncles, who sent him to boarding school. Hans was initially depressed, but threw himself into his studies and learned different languages. After finishing school, he got a job at Kuno Korten, a Swiss company that sold many types of pocket watches. Hans, being multilingual, helped him work as a clerk and correspondent at the company. This job gave him a chance to learn about watchmaking and appreciate the art behind it. In 1903, he moved to London for a new job that involved selling and finding new customers. This experience taught him what made certain watch brands special and showed him the importance of marketing. However, Hans had bigger dreams. At the age of 24, he took a bold step and started his own watchmaking business. He invested his own savings and received support from his brother-in-law, Alfred Davis, who became his business partner. Together, they created the Wilsdorf and Davies Company and imported Swiss watches to sell in the UK. At the time, wristwatches are not as popular as they are now, and were mostly seen as accessories for women. People doubted the durability and accuracy of wristwatches, preferring pocket watches instead. Despite the skeptics, Hans firmly believed that wristwatches were more elegant and convenient. He confidently stated, "My personal opinion is that pocket watches will almost completely disappear, and that wristwatches will replace them definitely." Ignoring the doubters, Hans risked all the company's money to make one of the largest orders of wristwatches ever. The world called him foolish, and even his business partner had doubts. But little did they know, Hans's boldness would revolutionize the watch industry. In the face of adversity, he gambled everything on wristwatches, convinced they would become the ultimate way to tell time. And he was proven right. Hans, driven by his passion for watchmaking, sought guidance from renowned watchmakers and important Swiss mechanism to create exceptional wristwatches. He knew that quality alone wouldn't suffice. He needed a remarkable name for his brand. The origin of Rolex is intriguing, with Hans claiming it came to him in a moment of inspiration. Regardless of its true source, the name was perfect, short, memorable, and universally recognizable. Hans wasted no time in displaying the name on watch dials to enhance brand recognition. By 1910, Rolex wristwatches gained immense popularity, becoming the first to receive the prestigious Swiss certification of precision. A remarkable achievement came in 1914, when a Rolex watch earned a Class A rating from a British Kew observatory, an unprecedented feat. Rolex's association with exceptional quality further attracted customers. However, the outbreak of World War I in 1914 posed challenges. Hans faced difficulties due to his German background and the imposition of import duties on luxury goods. To avoid conflicts and enjoy tax benefits, he made the bold decision to move Rolex's headquarters from England to neutral Switzerland. Despite the turmoil, Rolex thrived during the war, as their wristwatches were favored by the military for their reliability and convenience compared to pocket watches. Hans's keen marketing instincts played a crucial role in Rolex's rapid growth. Starting from 1920s, Hans began associating his watches with explorers, athletes, racers, aviators, and other accomplished individuals. This clever strategy created a strong link in consumers' minds between success and Rolex. Hans also capitalized on product placement long before his competitors, running well-placed advertisements on the radio and in newspapers. In 1926, Rolex achieved a significant milestone by introducing the world's first commercially available waterproof watch, called the Oyster. Hans had a brilliant marketing idea to promote it. Upon learning of a woman planning to swim across the English Channel, Hans convinced her to wear Rolex's new waterproof Oyster watch during her daring feat. After more than 10 grueling hours in the cold waters, she emerged with the Rolex Oyster watch still in perfect condition, creating headlines and generating buzz around Rolex's innovative product. Hans then instructed Rolex dealers to display the waterproof Oyster watches in fish tanks, with live fish swimming around them, capturing the attention of passerby. In a remarkable achievement, just 5 years later, Rolex engineers developed the perpetual rotor, an automatic winding mechanism for watches that was previously deemed impossible. Alongside this innovation, Hans set out on a mission to ensure that Rolex watches adorn the wrist of the world's most influential figures. Notably, Rolex watches accompanied daring individuals in their remarkable endeavors, such as the crew who made the first flight to Everest while wearing Rolex Oyster watches, and Malcolm Campbell, who wore a Rolex while setting a land speed record in Utah in 1935. This successful combination of effective marketing strategies and continuous innovation propelled Rolex's rapid expansion and increasing popularity. One notable example of this expansion was seen in 1945, on the company's 40th anniversary, when Rolex released the Datejust model, the world's first automatic watch with a date window on its dial. However, just before the planned announcement, tragedy struck as Hans lost his beloved wife Florence to illness. This devastating period deeply affected him, especially considering him orphaned at the age of 12 and now widowed at 63 with no children. Contemplating his own mortality, Hans devoted the following years to securing the future of the empire he had painstakingly built from scratch. In 1946, Hans established the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation and transferred his ownership of Rolex to the foundation. To this day, the foundation maintains full ownership and control of Rolex. Since it is a foundation rather than a company, Rolex enjoys exemption from corporation taxes. A significant portion of the profits is directed towards charitable causes, including education grants and watchmaker training. While reports suggest that not all funds are solely dedicated to charitable purposes, Rolex's ownership by the foundation eliminates the need for public disclosure of financial activities. This structure allows Rolex to maintain a very high level of secrecy, leading to limited knowledge about the company's internal affairs. Who manages it? How is its financial performance, and what are its resource allocations? Consequently, some view the foundation as a strategic means of keeping the wealth and power of Rolex and its subsidiaries. The strict non-disclosure agreements among Rolex employees and the prohibition of photography inside the Rolex building contribute to the brand's mysterious operation, making it difficult to critique their action due to the lack of public knowledge. Following Hans' passing in 1960, the new owners continued to guide Rolex toward further success. However, a significant challenge arose in the 1970s with the advent of the quartz revolution. This revolution introduced battery-operated watches that offered enhanced accuracy and allowed mass production at lower costs. The market was flooded with these quartz watches, leading many mechanical watch manufacturers to go bankrupt. Despite the crisis, Rolex remained resilient. This raises the question, what sets Rolex apart? What enables them to maintain premium pricing for their watches? Part 2. The fascinating reasons behind Rolex's high prices. In 2017, a Rolex Daytona formerly owned by Hollywood legend Paul Newman made headlines by selling at auction for a staggering $17.7 million. While you don't need to spend millions on a Rolex, even their entry-level models come with a hefty price tag. So why are people willing to invest so much in a Rolex when there are more affordable alternatives? And we already have the time on our smartphones. The straightforward answer you'll find on Google is that Rolexes are exceptionally well made and built to last a lifetime. While the sentiment holds some truth, it's not the complete story. First and foremost, Rolex is not merely a timepiece, it is a symbol of status. It has become a universal icon of wealth, worn by everyone from New York rappers to members of the British royal family. Legendary figures like John F. Kennedy, Winston Churchill, Steve McQueen, Elvis Presley, and Martin Luther King Jr. have all sported Rolex watches. This elevated status is primarily due to Rolex's strategic marketing approach, associating itself with success. Rolex serves as the official timekeeper for prestigious events such as Wimbledon and Formula One, and sponsors high-profile gatherings attended by affluent individuals, including equestrian and golf championships. The brand also secures product placements in movies, such as James Bond films. Additionally, Rolex pays substantial sums to famous personalities like Roger Federer, who reportedly earns $8 million annually as a brand ambassador. While Rolex is more than just hype and marketing, the use of premium materials and rigorous testing to meet high standards naturally drives up the price. Skilled craftsmanship is also required to create their mechanical watches, resulting in some of the highest wages in the industry. Furthermore, Rolex invests significantly in its scientific labs for research and development. However, an interesting insight from a watchmaker suggests that a Rolex selling for around $7,000 may cost as little as $700 to produce. Other estimates indicate that Rolex's profit margins could be as much as 20 times the manufacturing cost, with the remaining profits allocated to advertising and sponsorships to maintain the brand's exclusivity and desirability. It's worth noting that Rolex secrecy prevents us from knowing the exact cost breakdown. What remains clear is that while Rolex watches are undoubtedly of high quality, many watch enthusiasts argue that there are other watches offering even higher quality at more affordable prices. Contrary to popular beliefs, Rolex is not the rarest or most expensive watch brand favored by elites or hardcore watch enthusiasts. There are other luxury brands that cater more to their tastes. The key difference lies in marketing expenditure. Rolex, being a master of marketing, has successfully positioned itself as an upper-middle-class aspirational brand. Although relatively expensive, Rolex watches are attainable for the middle class if they save up. Hans Wilsdorf understood the power of marketing in achieving business success. This becomes evident in Rolex's strategies. Higher prices enable them to engage influential individuals and sponsor exclusive events, driving demand and justifying their premium pricing. To maintain an image of prestige and exclusivity, Rolex exclusively sells through authorized dealers and avoids discounts or sales. They even repurchase old stock to prevent discounted sales and preserve the perception of exclusivity. A prime example of this strategy is the creation of Tudor, a separate brand introduced by Rolex, recognizing the need to cater to a broader customer base. Tudor offers similar quality watches under a different name, safeguarding Rolex's status as a symbol of luxury. Rolex is known for intentionally creating scarcity. Despite producing hundreds of thousands of watches annually, they limit supply to generate high demand. Wait times for a Rolex can stretch from months to years. Authorized dealers claim that Rolex purposely undersupplies the market and engages in global price fixing to maintain the value of their watches. While Rolex watches do require meticulous craftsmanship, the notion each watch takes a year to produce is debatable. Reports suggest outsourcing certain components and the use of machines in certain stages, challenging the belief that Rolex watches are entirely handmade. Still, Rolex watches are known for their exceptional quality and precision. However, it's interesting to note that Rolex could make more watches if they wanted to. Instead, they intentionally create a sense of scarcity and maintain waiting lists as part of their business strategy. This puts Rolex in a unique category called Veblen goods. Normally, when the price of a product goes down, more people want to buy it. But with Veblen goods like Rolex watches, the higher the price, the more desirable they become. This is because people buy them as symbols of status. If Rolex drastically lowered their prices, the demand would decrease because their exclusivity would be lost. So, keeping the prices high helps maintain the brand's allure. Interestingly, even though the price of a Rolex isn't solely based on the watch's quality, it's still considered a good investment. Because of Rolex's reputation and history, their watches tend to hold their value or even increase in worth over time. This makes them attractive as long-term investments, something not many other watch brands can achieve. What's truly remarkable is that Rolex started as a practical tool watch, not a luxury or collector's item. Through their clever marketing and sales strategies, the brand successfully transformed into a symbol of luxury and became one of the most valuable brands in the world. Hans Wilsdorf's inspiring journey, overcoming challenges from a young age, is a testament to the incredible empire he built, and the story of Rolex offers useful lessons for all of us in the business world. And there you have it! The story behind the world's most famous and iconic watch brand, Rolex. If you watched to the end, you are a legend. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.